Chat with Charley. Chat with Charley. Hey, do you know who you chatting with?
Oh, you chatting with the Shark, baby. Welcome to Chattin with Charley. If you'd like to support our program, please make sure to support on our Patreon. But today we have the multi-talented rising star, Courtney Theophin.
Woo!
How you doing?
Doing well. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, of course, of course. Well, I just want to get into all of 2025 and you really enjoyed that bite. That was amazing.
I sure did.
You really did.
It was a good bite.
Is Rice Krispies, like, you don't like the chocolate Rice Krispies or nothing?
They didn't have any.
Oh, so you just get whatever.
I mean, look, do I eat the chocolate Rice Krispies? No. Not really.
If they was there, I wouldn't have got it.
Yeah, even if it was there, I wouldn't even had them. That's not how I was raised. That's not my heritage.
Okay. I never.
Nothing against the African American Rice Krispies, but this is my culture. It's my heritage. Heritage, not hate.
I get you. You got to do what's right. You got to do what's right. Jesus Christ. So, what I wanted to go through was everything that you got planned for 2025. I know you're coming off of a hot 2024, so I wanted to start in the past before we move on to the future.
Wow.
Yeah. So I just wanted to ask you, just on coming off of the Unserious sketch show that you had made. So I just gotta pull this real.
No, take the notes out. Like first episode.
So when it comes to the Unserious sketch show that you had, what was the most surprising thing that you had learned about yourself during the process?
Surprising thing I learned. I guess how willing I am to just, give up certain things.
Give up as in?
Like, in terms of, like, ideas and stuff like that. When you're working with a lot of people, everybody has, ideas and different ways of doing things. And, like, and of course, some of that is attached to ego. Mm-hmm. And so just, like, for the betterment of the project, I'm like, hey, man, if I just, like, maybe it is better. Or maybe, like, and who says my idea is the best idea or their idea is the best idea? If, like, if this thing is gonna get it done, then just shed that and just take it. If you want that direction that bad, if you're feeling so strongly about it, go ahead.
No, I completely agree, because in a process like that, you have tons of criticism that's come, and it's at its base level. It is a critique of the work. So I just want to know, combined with the critiques that you're getting from your own team and the feedback you're getting from the audience, what type of feedback that came from the audience was the most impactful after you had launched your whole project?
Most impactful? There's not like a specific thing that, the audience said. It was just the general of, like, they enjoyed it. Mm-hmm. And, like, seeing your work displayed, like, hundreds of people are watching it in front of you, and you see them, like, and you see jokes land that you never thought would land, or you see them laugh at things you never thought, like, I didn't even like it, but I'm like, shit, just, like, and so just watching that happen in real time, I'm like, oh, that's just like, that's just, I guess that's what impacted me. I was like, oh, wow. It was another confirmation, like, I could do this. Amongst my circle of friends, I'm not just like, I don't think I'm funny just around my circle of friends. I'm funny to like a room full of people.
Yeah. And
so it was just like, yeah, it was nice. I cried, I teared up. It was a very emotional moment. All that work you put in, and then, like, it just boiling up with all that stress, and you're like, release point. Mm-hmm. And yeah, and so.
Yeah, not many people can, like, a lot of people like to see criticism as like something that's just blatantly, oh, I can change my whole perspective on this. But, when it comes to something as simple as like laughter, that is, a reaction that you look for.
Yeah. And I guess and me being my own harshest critic, I feel like there's not a lot of people can tell me things that I haven't really told myself. So,
Okay.
So yeah, I know with the sketch show, it was hilarious, ha ha ha, real funny. In my head, I'm like, oh, I can do better now.
Well, you say that. What is one piece of advice that you would tell your younger self before doing this project that you wish you knew?
Nothing.
You wouldn't tell your younger self anything?
Just do it.
Really?
Yeah, because hindsight is always 20/20, right? And it's not but the reason why you're the person you are today is because you went through something. And the lessons are more impactful when you go through something versus when someone tells you not to do this thing or go that route. When simple, oh, don't touch the stove. The stove is hot.
Oh yeah, it won't stick unless you
touch the stove. So that's how I approach it. I'm like, hey man, touch the stove.
No, I get it. That's all right. I totally agree with that. That's how you got to learn most things. And I think you did a good job of just going out there and touching that stove. What brought about this passion for acting? Because I know you've been doing this for a while. You've been doing it for a few years. You have a few projects under your belt now. But, a lot of people who are working with you, they see all of the things that you're doing with these projects, whether it's editing, videography, sound, lighting, everything. But from somebody in the audience's point of view, you're amazing. On screen, on stage. What brought about this passion for acting?
What brought about it? I guess growing up, I always been this hyper kid, and always running around and causing mischief and being silly and stuff like that. So that's just something that just been happening since I was a kid. And so I guess the first time I ever quote unquote acted, it was in a second grade play, and we were doing folk stories or whatever. It was called The Salesman and the Spoon Salesman, Silver Spoon, something. And I just tried my best version of an English sophisticated salesman. I was like, you would like to, but imagine a 7-year-old high pitch. Would you like to buy a spoon? And just being those characters, and like me and my brothers always made voices, always come up with voices to entertain ourselves, because life was tough, and didn't really have money for the luxurious entertainment, aka cable. And so there was a lot of days you had to go through the day, right? Yeah. And so one of the days we just come up, make voices, be silly and all that. So and that led to that second grade play moment of spoon, would you like a spoon? And so that was fun. And then because people's parents were there. My parents didn't come because they're working. Shout out. But yeah, other people's parents came. They were patting me on the back. Oh, great job, you just so good. And I was like, that's kind of like this recognition. Oh my God, I'm getting, when you that feeling when you take your first meth hit.
A little unfamiliar, but
I was there. Remember that?
You know what? I get this a lot. I have a very common face. People will always come up. Hey, you want to smoke meth again? Nah, that's somebody else.
My fault.
But hypothetically, I could relate to.
Yeah. You equate that. It's I'm chasing that high, chasing that dragon, and so that just started my. that just started my journey of like being the class clown. I was looking for the attention. I was looking as like entertaining boy. And then at the years you have to, once I start getting more conscious about race and whatnot, and then the schools I went to, which was predominant, and the schools I went was white, and the classes I was in was predominantly white, and I'm like, am I telling jokes or am I shucking and jiving? Am I, look at me, I'm Mr. Funny Man. You like the legs for me, boss?
As a African American gentleman, I think that's something that we constantly gotta be aware of.
Yeah.
If somebody is laughing at us or laughing with us.
Yeah, and so like you develop the that second consciousness of like, all right, when I go into a room, how do I want to like see myself as? Do I like, even though I do want to tell jokes, like
you don't want to come across as unserious. You want to be seen as a serious person who has humor.
Exactly. So like, not just like, the sidekick.
Yeah.
Say something funny, black man. Versus like, Courtney's hilarious. Courtney is hilarious, Me. Not just like,
No,
zinger.
I totally get you.
Yeah.
And you know what? To build off of your second grade play, by the way, spoonful salesman or
it's something like that.
Whatever
I feel like I need
is,
to Google it.
That's way too many S's for a seventh grade class. Second. The second graders saying salesman spoonful is just, that's too much. That's too much of a, I'm sure you did well though. But on your journey of acting, on your plays and everything, I want to kind of dive into your time at UCB and the little bit of the improv that you're doing, and how do you compare doing, let's say, a camera acting as opposed to being on stage, and which one do you prefer?
Oh boy. Okay, no, great. So the question is, do I prefer camera acting or do I prefer improvising on stage?
Yes.
I mean, I guess like I would say camera acting I prefer. Because of course, there's a lot of there's a reset button, right?
Yes.
If a joke doesn't land, you're like, ooh, I can try again. Or if something comes to you later, you're like, ooh, can we try that again? I feel like that's the reason why I like it. But then, of course, improv, the stakes are up. Like, you have to be hyper listening. You have to be in the moment and then at the moment. And so just come in at the right time with a good suggestion, know when to leave, know when to heighten, and also it's a group project. So you don't know what anybody else is gonna do. And so like you pray that someone, not necessarily pray, but like you hope and then you spend enough time together as a team to like, all right, you see where I'm going with this. Like there's some unspoken language like, all right, this is the game. We are like, make sure we know we're both playing it. When you say you don't like it when I bark like a dog, when I walk, then make sure you get me walking so I can bark like a dog. Yeah.
With that, run me through like your first time doing improv. Your first time on stage. There's a crowd right there, and you gotta perform.
Right. Okay. Well, I would say I've been improvising all my life.
Of course.
We don't see it as like the theater improvising, but like at the lunch table. When, you guys are having roast battles. Or, there's like these informal pockets of improv that I feel like, because going back to like, black people don't really do improv.
You know what?
And I feel like,
I think that black people don't do traditional
improv.
Yes.
Right, exactly. So like what they see improv as, we know if they know what it is. When people say, oh man, wait till they bring gymnastics to the hood. Then that's when we're gonna see who the real. And so I feel like it's just a matter of resources and like figure like what this is. Cause like most of the funniest people I know, they're fellow African Americans. Yeah. And so I'm like, it'd be kind of cool to see their mind on the improv stage and see where how quickly, because some sharp minds like,
Oh, of
how did you
course.
even think of that?
As a kid, I used to play this game with my brothers where you'd have to respond, but you'd have to respond in 5 seconds. If you don't respond in 5 seconds, no matter how good your thought is past 5 seconds, it's moot.
Right.
It's completely irrelevant. You should have been quicker on it. And I think something like that is what a lot of Black children, African American children work on. It as more of a way in society to kind of save face or like show or prove that they are mentally strong or funny and all of that.
Yeah.
It's that's what we had.
Right, so we have that like informal training, and like I had that informal training of just like I had to think of jokes on the fly. I had to like protect myself because I was bald growing up, like bald, Mr. Clean, swing bowling ball bald.
There is nothing wrong with being bald.
Not at all.
Nothing
I mean, if you're 12 and don't have cancer, yeah. So, yeah, so like people used to, bully me, calling me, Black Captain Underpants, Mr. Brown. And so you just had to like Michael Jordan, shout out the classics ones.
Oh yeah.
Especially when I was in PE.
Oh yeah. That's
when I used to come in, there goes Michael.
That right there would just offset all of the bullying.
Right. It felt good. That was like the positive highlight. I'm like, if I'm gonna be called bald, at least I'm Michael Jordan. Right? But just dealing with that, you have to become quick-witted and on your feet, and then, that laid the foundation of when I later on did traditional improv. When I took my first improv class about, I'm say 2023.
Oh.
2023, that's when I took it.
Oh, really?
So like, it was about to hit 2 years. 2 years it will make 2 years in the summer. We'll make it. It'll be summer. That's when I first started. And so I took an acting class, and we went, and then we got to the comedy portion of that acting class, and then I killed it, made people laugh. Like, oh my gosh, Courtney, you were so funny. Did you study at UCB? And I'm like, what's UCB? They said, oh, it's a little theater. They teach people like comedy and improv and stuff. I'm like, I didn't know you could teach people that. But then I Googled it, and they said, yeah, this should like, you should totally check it out. You should totally check it out, and you could do really well there. I'm like, sure. If you guys gassing me up, I'll give it a look-see. And looked it up, saw that it was 5 minutes away from my house.
5 minutes.
I saw that it was 5 minutes away. I'm like, well, time to sign up. So I signed up a few weeks later, and I guess the rest is history. And then I guess until my first time in stage in front of people, they have these things called like Sunday jams, where like people of all like experience levels go up and they play together, and being in that moment of like. And at these jams, there's a lot of people. There's a lot of people, just not a lot of people, but there's a few people that just stay on the wall because they're afraid of like jumping out and stuff like that, and be like, oh, what if I'm not ready? A lot of second guessing, a lot of gears turning. But I'm like, the point of these things is to get better, and so like also, like, hey man, you were here for a reason. We're here to just let this out. Like, I'm not like. We're not here to waste our time. If you got something to say, go ahead and say it. It's improv. It's make believe. Say it, and then you have other people who can like probably they're there to back you up. Yeah. Right. It's like if they want to like steer it into another direction, if it's not all the way clear, they can help you move it into a clearer direction. But then again, at the end of the day, it's all improv, and then again, people will forget as soon as they leave the theater. If you embarrass it, as long as you don't embarrass yourself, if you don't slip and fall and shit yourself, then people will probably remember you. Hey, they go the slip and fall and shit yourself, boy.
Well,
but but if you just fumble and like, oh, they'll forgive you. The people are really forgiving.
I know the show that I had went to that I had seen you perform. You did an amazing job, but I remember one of the things that stood out to me was. You had did this James Earl Jones character, and I was just wondering, like, if you have any characters that you would deem that you are your favorite, or any characters that you see yourself going back to, any recurring characters in your normal day-to-day or improv to improv.
Not necessarily characters I go back to. It's mostly voices.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is class. Always come out like this. Hey, what's going on here? That's just something that just immediately comes out because I'm like, I feel like that's a voice I always use, even in my daily life.
Where does that voice come from? There's got to be some uncle or granddad.
Hey, man, look here.
Yeah.
I mean, growing up in Florida, there's a lot of, I'm surrounded around a lot of southern people, so like I feel like that's what I hear.
Oh yeah,
going around town.
Like I ask it because my grandpa's from Florida, so he talks just like that. So when I hear you say that, I'm just imagining like some guy at the gas station who's just like, "Hey man, you shouldn't be putting premium oil in a Corolla like that." I'm like, what? It's just like, all right, but it's always that kind of person that I associate with that voice. And I do see that voice come out a lot, so I just wondered the origins of that.
Yeah, that's just how I grew up.
That's
just heritage, not hate.
That's just how I grew up. In your time improv, and what's like one of the wildest suggestions that you've gotten?
The wildest suggestions. It's kind of crazy because, like, if it's too wild, it gets shot down.
Really?
Yeah, it's like, oh, another one.
In the moment,
you're just like, nah. It's like, what you?
That's not gonna work. Can we get a redo on that one?
Yeah, exactly. So it's not like, I guess the wildest one was threesome. Yeah, that was the wildest suggestion that made it through.
And I think a lot of people have this misconception about improv where it's like, oh, whatever happens, you're always saying yes. But the fact that you can switch out an idea like that, or just, oh, you know what, give me another one. I think that's a lot of information that a lot of people don't have. And I think that is something that would increase the barrier to entry to improv. I think a lot of people, as long as they could have some sort of mulligan button like that, it would actually help them into getting into improv a lot better.
No, yeah, maybe. And look, I don't want to say I'm this improv expert. Like I said, I'm less than 2 years in the game. I still got a lot to learn. I've just been coasting by on this talent and a little bit of structure. But in terms of like, getting a reset button, it's always good to say yes. And because it makes your partner feel accepted wherever your scene partner is. Like, all right, I'm taking what you said. It's like essentially like a respect thing. Mm-hmm. It's like, oh, I like where you're going with this. You're funny. I respect you're funny. Shake hands. This is what we're doing. And if like in terms of like that mulligan reset, that's only at the top. That's before the world. That's before the make believe starts. Mm-hmm. It's just like we're still us, and we're like, oh no, we're not doing a world with this. When I bring into a world where the suggestion is racism.
Oh yeah. So when you do get like, I don't want to use the word uncomfortable, but when you get a topic that you're slightly not prepared for, how do you keep up your energy throughout that entire bout?
No, that's a real good question. It never happened to me on a show, but during a practice. Someone said like some wild stuff, and I'm like, how am I supposed? Like my energy gone. You saying these out of pocket stuff, you bringing it to places where it doesn't need to bring it, and I'm like, I'm really getting beside myself, and I'm like, this is supposed to be make believe. This is supposed to be fun. Why you do? And so it's just like. You just got to remind yourself that you also have power too. Mm-hmm. So if that person is bringing a certain energy, you could bring it. You could bring another one back to switch it up. Like you're not, even though like you don't want to say, no, but there's many ways to steer it without, doing that little, I don't respect your funny. Or,
Yeah. I feel
so, yeah, it's interesting. But I'm glad I haven't been on a live situation like that where I'm like, ooh.
where the energy is just dropped and you can't go anywhere from there.
And like, that's one of the things I like. And like when I do go on stage, I like to bring the energy up because I feel like on other shows I've watched, these people's like, the next team. But if I come up, me and my team comes out, I feel like that's like, oh, okay, let me straighten myself up. Wonder what this show's gonna be about.
Well, okay. With that, do you see yourself as someone who brings the energy, or do you see yourself as someone who plays off of other people's energy? Or which one of those do you think that you're better at? Because obviously you can do both of those very well.
Right. I say both. I do like to bring the energy, but also if everybody else is bringing the same energy, then I'm like, all right, then I just play off it. But then
which one do you think that you excel at?
I say bringing the energy.
Bringing the energy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think. Yeah.
You're the guy that sets the tone.
It depends. I feel like, because like if we're talking in strictly like a improv aspect, or just like a.
Let's do both.
Okay. Yeah. Like depends on whatever and then talking to if we're sticking to improv, like wherever the energy is, of course we like to start off high, but it all depends on who steps out first. Like if I'm not able to step out first and that scene was, somewhat low energy, then I'm like, oh, okay, people fall asleep, time to bring it up. And if someone goes out first and they bring up the energy, then I'm like, all right, cool. It's less pressure. The energy's up. And then, like, maybe I have more, not necessarily not more time to experiment, but I'm like, all right, they brought the energy up, the crowd's in it, time to.
You're riding that momentum.
I'm riding the momentum. I don't need to do anything different. I'm like, or I can play around more, but like, it's been said. And so, but in life, I think I bring the energy. But then again, you tell me, because like, I'm over here, I don't know what I bring to the world. I just know I'm me. But like, how are people affected? I feel like energy is something that, what other people see.
I think you nailed it perfectly, of just putting it in the mindset of like, I am just me. I just show up. So whatever energy I have, mostly people are feeding off of my energy. I am not feeding off of other people's energy. I just come who I am.
Right.
And that's bringing the energy right there.
I mean, granted, sometimes I do have a little energy. Like if I haven't eaten and you bring me around people, then you don't get a little.
Oh, of course. And that's.
Hi.
I'm just gonna fall asleep at the table right now.
Excuse me if I'm a little sluggish.
Sometimes you got to do that. Sometimes I like to just put on my shades inside and just take a nap. Nobody knows.
Like, what's that guy's deal?
Oh,
that's just Charlie.
He's just quiet.
He's just quiet. He's just in his own zone.
Yeah. He's going to pop up and have questions for everybody.
Don't worry, he's coming.
Oh, man. Let me see. I want to get like one last one about your improv time. I know I've done a little bit of improv with you. We played some games. You taught me some games that I didn't know. Word.
Nice.
Of course. What are your favorite games? Your favorite improv game? Something that almost every time that you do this thing, when you're on stage, it always works with the audience.
It always works with the audience whenever I do this. Shoot. I'm not sure. But like I guess, you follow the tropes of like, ooh, relationship. Ooh, what's going on here? Like Google, Trouble in Paradise.
Mm.
And I guess that's what I've seen like people like. And of course, going back to the voice, and mixture of that. And so, yeah, I mean, and then I don't know.
If I could elaborate, so when you had taught me a few games, we were playing the game where you have to match the same word.
Mind meld, yes.
Mind meld. You have mind meld. There was the other thing where it was almost like a game show, but there's so many different kinds. Like for example,
those are like warm ups.
The warm ups.
Okay. I'm over here thinking. I'm like, okay.
My bad. I didn't.
No.
Because I don't have all the technical knowledge of
forgiven.
Yeah.
Forgiven. No. Yeah. Those are mostly warm ups. So that's not happening on stage.
That's not happening on
stage.
That
just to get you like your mind warmed up. Your like your wiggles out, and then to focus in.
But in terms of making the audience laugh, it's not like this one thing that will work on everybody. Not like a one key fits all lock.
Yeah.
Okay. I see that.
Exactly. Because not the same thing bad, but like most of the audience that we perform to, me and my teams, they're mostly white.
Mm-hmm.
And so like there's a little bit of I gotta change my joke Rolodex.
That is a real thing.
Yeah, so I'm like, okay, exactly. When you like the same stand up, like you see the room and you're like, oh, okay.
Yep.
If I say something, who's gonna get this reference? Yeah. And so, it's not necessarily a one size fits all. It's just like I think I heard 2 Chaperone songs, but
Never.
But I know if I say Chaperone to the regular audience that be out there, they like, oh, he know Chapo, and I'm like, I just know, like I feel like this is me profiling. I feel like y'all listen.
I get you, and as much as we don't like to profile,
right.
As much as we don't like to be prejudiced, these are things that are humorous to human beings, and that's where comedy needs to be taken at some point.
Right, and then when I do get the chance to like perform in front of like black audiences, I'm like, ooh, okay. References. I'm home. My people are here. Yeah, you get this. Martin.
Martin. just that. Okay. All right, I'm gonna move on. So, let me get on to 2025 with the new year ahead. How are you using the momentum from your previous projects to fuel you into 2025?
Yeah, I've been going off the momentum of like my projects for like the past 3 years. I always like to say like I like to give myself one big personal project a year, mm-hmm. just to like satisfy myself and my creativity. And so like just because we work all the time, and a lot of places are taking our creativity, are taking our time, and like this is like me rebelling to like no, one thing. Mm-hmm. I just need to make one thing, and I can like say to our capitalistic overlords that you haven't gotten me as much.
You won't take full advantage of me.
Full advantage.
I'll be at work on Monday.
Yeah. So this year, of course, I'm working on something, and there's many ways it could play out, and so I'm excited to see how it goes. Or like, I do that and then I transition to another thing. But like, hey, it's January.
I see that you are moving on to a project, and I do have questions on that. But before that, I do want to know a little bit about your process. I want to know how you react to like creative blocks, writer's blocks, and things like that.
How do I react to it?
How do you react to it? How do you get past it? How do you work through it?
Yeah, I guess like whenever you have I guess for talk about me. I guess whenever I have like creative blocks or writer's blocks, I'm like, all right, it's time to start letting life again. Just like put it down, do other stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, and just like live.
You just set it down.
Set it down.
And you let it go for another time.
Yeah, let it go, live, and then as you live, ideas will start to pop up and formulate, and then you're like, huh?
To your knowledge, what is the longest amount of time that you've put something down before picking it back up? That laugh. Wow.
I guess, putting it down before picking it back up. It's interesting because music has been something that I've been putting down and picking back up and then putting down and picking back up. I guess it's because of like, of what it's like when you are what you create, right? If you're a guy who does a lot of sketches, then people will start seeing you as the sketch guy or the comedy person. And so opportunities will start coming in that lane, like frequently. Because when people think of you or people have a project, like, oh, you know, be good for this? Courtney. He's funny, comedy guy. Well, like, I guess, and then also in my position, I also do a lot of the production side. Like, I know my way around the camera. I also edit. Like, I know how to set lights up and, move them around and such. And so people see that. And they start hitting me up in that. And so, like, which is cool because that's what I want. Like, it's money like that. But it's also keeping me away from certain things. And so with music, people don't really see me as the music guy. So there's not a lot of music opportunities for me to be like, let me stop the world and just focus on this. And so, I mean, look, so to answer the question, I'm trying to make sense here. And so me and my brother, we released during the pandemic, 2020, we were bored in the house. We dropped a little mixtape album, and it was pretty good. I thought it was pretty good. It was pretty nice. And some people who listened to that first project were like, hey, where's the second one? I'm like, where's more music? I like some of your music. Courtney, where's more? And I'm like, it's on the way. It's coming. I got some things I need to do. And so, I recorded songs. I have, demos and stuff like that. But I don't think I'm in a place to, I don't know, show it. Okay. Or I don't think I'm good enough to, be seen in that light. Or I don't know how people would take from me, Courtney, you're the sketch guy. You can't be the music guy, too. I mean, you trying to be Jamie Foxx. You trying to be Childish Gambino? And so, I don't know. I guess, this is something internal that has to happen to me where I just be like, hey, look, if I like it, let it go. Let the world see it because, and it's easier for me to do that. It's easier for me to let go the comedy stuff and the sketch stuff because I've done it so long and I built up a thick skin for criticism. Because I'm like, oh.
But you're still sensitive when it comes to
I'm still sensitive when it comes to the music side. Because I'm like, ooh, I haven't done it as much. I don't know if I'm actually him.
Yes, I know what you mean.
And, yeah. And so that's been a project that I've picked up and put down. And then also times when I want to pick it up, comedy stuff comes around. And I'm like, oh, that's easier. That's less of a mental thing, and I put it down and go la 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 la. Because I'm like, this is what I do. This is what comes natural. This comes easy, and that doesn't come natural, but it's easier to make that and have that project come to fruition. If I go the music route, it's a lot more steps because I've never done it before, so it's a lot. It's a path it's a blurrier path.
It's like you said earlier. It's always hard the first time.
It's always hard. It takes when you do something for the first time is always the longest. First time is the longest. So yeah, I'm sure. Once I, hopefully, but that is something I do want to do this year.
that leads me to my next question. If, music being this thing that you don't put out as much, what do you want to do with your music? And I mean it in terms of like, I play piano. I play piano for fun. It's a fun thing to do for me. Like, I love it. I don't care if anyone else sees it. But at some point, if I was to be on stage, like playing piano in front of people, I would feel very satisfied with that. But what do you want for your music? What goal do you have? Like, what just idea? Oh, I want to be in Madison Square Garden, or I want to be doing DJing, or I want to be the new Bryson Tiller. Very random, but I think you could do it.
Don't.
Are you done?
Yes.
All right, so
Yeah, I mean, look, I performed before. Like, I won this hip hop contest, rap contest in Atlanta back, I don't know, when I was 19.
wow.
Went to Atlanta and then went to this little concert or contest and whatnot. It's like almost like 50 rappers in there. I was like,
And you won.
I got third place.
Still
But I guess won. They said, "Oh man, look, you want a free show whenever you come back." I'm like, I'm never coming back. But yes, thanks. So I guess like those little wins lets me know that I'm like, all right, I can do it. But then again, that was so long ago, and I feel like my musical interests have shifted. My music tastes have shifted. The music landscape has shifted, and so like, what do I do now that I'm, this person, and I like these things, and the world looks like this, and I do like music, and I do respect it, because I don't want to be one of these, these artists that just there for like trends and clout and whatnot, and don't really, they call what the classics unk music, and just like, come on now, just like, even though it is, I mean, like it's history. It's part of like people who don't really study the game.
You see yourself as more of a musical purist than somebody who's appropriating a certain culture and using it just for profit.
Wouldn't say purist, but if there was a spectrum, I'd be more so on the purist side of that spectrum.
Okay.
Not like name 3 albums that did this and had this sample.
Oh my God.
Nah, I can't. I mean, I can do that a little bit because when I'm outside, I'm like, oh, that's that sample. But like, yeah, I'm on that side of the spectrum. Not. Yeah.
Okay. I like that. I like that.
But I do respect, the genre as an entirety and whatnot, and you gotta watch out for the appropriators who just come in and make a little quick buck and go do country.
Yeah. I mean, shouts out to Beyonce. Why would she ever go to country? She was doing great where she was.
Don't listen to him.
Okay. You know what? don't listen to me. Listen, hey, I ain't trying to start nothing with no Beyonce fans.
This ain't Texas. Hold on.
Don't make me get up here and do that whole little. I'll do the whole square dance.
Hey, look, that was fine. She did a great job. Shout out to her.
You know what? She actually did a really good job.
You saw the football Netflix thing where she performed?
No. Wait. What are we talking about?
Christmas.
Hey,
she performed on Christmas.
I don't do that.
You don't do what? Christmas?
I mean, I don't have TV like that to be.
Oh, okay.
Where did she perform?
Netflix.
She performed on Netflix.
On Christmas.
Okay, because I ain't got
It was
Netflix.
a football game.
There was a football game on Netflix?
Netflix hosted a football game. It was live. It was a live event. And then Beyonce did the halftime show.
Wow. Tell me about it. She did good.
Yes.
Country.
It was Post Malone was there. Shabuzi was there. Blue Ivy was.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, it was a whole event. It was great.
Okay. That's good to hear. That is really good to hear. I know I be bashing it sometimes, but I have had conversations with like younger Beyonce fans who are just, they love the new work. And honestly, to see something like that where they can just pop in and be like, oh, you know what? I like country now. Or they're actually getting their horizons broadened just by listening to different genre music by one artist who can cover different genres like that.
Yeah.
Do you see yourself ever switching genres from like a rap, hip hop to anything else?
I don't know. I like a little bit of I don't even know what to call it. I like rock music sometimes, or just alternative stuff. Something with more musicality, and with not more instruments involved.
Big Tyler the Creator fan?
Yeah, of course. I loved his Flower Boy transition.
Flower Child.
I was thinking about somebody else. Flower Boy, like from Cherry Bomb to Flower Boy, and seeing like, oh, hey, this man cranked it up, and like you start hearing things, and you're like, okay, we have grown.
We have grown.
Shout out.
I remember he had one quote. They was hoping that I'd ditch the chords and go pick up the pen again. It's something like that where he just like really tapped in and focused. And
yeah.
Because
I didn't really listen to Tyler the Creator like his first few albums. I was like, oh, that's edgy white boy music.
Yeah.
Him and what's that guy? The guy Hobson.
Oh yeah. They were in the same. It's either one wearing contacts, the other one eating roaches.
I was like,
who do I listen to?
I was like, neither. I'm good. Yeah. I was like, I guess. But like, shout out. I mean, I liked a couple of songs, but he wasn't my guy until Cherry Bomb, and I was like, I sort of like this Tyler fella.
Cherry Bomb was it was I would say his worst. It's a great album.
No, it's great. Yeah, but I was listening to it, and I was like, something's shifting here. I'm like, some bops on here, and then Flower Boy. I was like, I'm on the Tyler train.
I don't like the way you said. Like
I was like, what you doing something to me now? But who am I? I'm just a guy.
All right, let me get back on track right now. For 2025, you say you have a project that you like to do once a year.
Yeah.
In order to be successful at something, you have to have a measure of success. What is your measure of success when it comes to your project?
That it's done. Yeah. I feel like, because like, who am I? I don't feel like I'm this big person that's like, oh my God, it's Courtney. Yeah, like, let me shake your hand, get your autograph. I'm not on that level yet. So I feel like everything that I do until I get on that level, it's just like, did you finish it? Clap it up. Because I feel like, and then you leverage all this stuff. Like whenever you finish it, you meet people. You meet people when you finish it, like while you're doing it. You meet new people, yada, 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 your network grows, and then you finish it, you show it to some people, and then your network grows even more. And then when you time to do another project, it's like you have more and more people to help you do that next thing, and then like it grows and grows until I don't know, you get to a new level. And so at this point, I'm still building.
But that's
I'm putting more stuff under my belt, letting people know that like I said, you are what you make. Let people know that I make things, and like when Courtney says he's gonna do something, like I want my name to be like synonymous with execution.
Okay.
When Courtney says he's gonna do something, that means Courtney is gonna make it.
I like that.
And so like being in creative spaces, you hear people talk. Oh, I'm about to do this. Oh, I'm about to do that. Yeah, I got this coming up, and then you never see it. And I'm like, I don't want to open my mouth and then not do the thing that I open my mouth for. I'd rather just be quiet. Like, hey, Courtney, what you got going on?
But I mean, that's a good way to approach it, and
because I think it's embarrassing.
Even when it's 100% embarrassing.
Yeah, I mean,
I've been guilty of that as well. Like it's
right. I mean, of course, like me too. I said I was going to do stuff, and like not really did it. But like, I feel like my rate is high. My ratio from talking to executing.
That's what you want.
Yeah, that's what you want. Of course, you're not going to do everything you said. But if you keep a good little ratio of like, he came through, just to like have people forget about other things you said you didn't do. Like, of course you didn't do that. He was doing this. Of course, how he could do that when he was doing this? Courtney can do it. Courtney's the guy. So that's that. When I do one, and hopefully it makes people forget the other shit I said.
Okay. Well, I mean, I think it's a good mindset to have behind it. Just getting it done. That's something that a lot of people would find to be a very inspirational thing to hear. Because so many people, like you said, so many people will talk and say all this, I got this and that. But when it comes to the actual execution of it, that's where things fall apart.
And like maybe people are forgetting, like maybe are like worried about like, oh man, I need to recoup that money that I spent. Like, all right, if I get this, I got to get something back. Or I'm like, hey man, I get in my head, it's like money's gone. Mm-hmm. Can't take it with you. Mm-hmm. As long as you got something. You got something
true.
that you can see. Your family can see, maybe your future kids can see, and let you know. Like I feel like
that's what you pay for.
That's you pay for that, and of course, who wouldn't want to make money off that? Someone wants to buy something off me. Man, you want to buy this? Mm-hmm. Sure, here, take it quickly. Quickly. But it's just nice to know. But like to satisfy myself, I'm like I got it done. I have another project on my belt. People start to know me as that guy who gets stuff done. And so that's success for me.
I like that.
And be patient. It takes a long time. It takes a long time to make stuff. And so like, just gonna throw that in there. Like, you just gotta just be patient. Cause wait.
No, I get you.
No, it's not gonna happen in one day. And people's breaks don't happen. Don't come until like, they're in their 40s and whatnot. Mm-hmm. Just like, hey, just work. And working.
So with that, you say have patience. And a lot of people will find that over time, having patience is a good thing, but to remain inspired while being patient on a project that you're working on that you're really passionate about can be difficult for some people.
Oh, I guess when I say patience. Go ahead.
No, this is just a follow-up question of, when you experience this moment of, okay, I need to have patience, what is something that you will do, like a practice that you will do or some sort of habit to keep yourself inspired through your patience to actually get your project done?
No, see, look, one of the things, like when I say stay patient, I don't also mean wait.
Oh, of course. You got that baby steps.
Yeah. Be patient, but also don't wait. And so, like, always be working on something. Mm-hmm. If it, like I said, baby step. If it's a little bit of something, a little bit here, a little bit there, like, gets you to your ultimate goal, do that. If you wait, like, when you do something, you get, like I said, practice makes perfect or practice makes permanence. You do something a lot, you start to get better at that thing. Mm-hmm. You wait a lot, you get good at waiting.
That's true. That's very true.
So just I feel like always make sure you're doing something a little bit here and there. If it's like taking a class or it's doing a little exercises, journals, writing every day. Like I'm talking about like in terms of like wherever your medium is or whatever your specialty is. Yeah, whatever little thing in that specialty is, always try to do something in that. That way you're not just like twiddling your thumbs. And even though you're like, have like creative blocks or writer's blocks and whatnot, there's always something you could do that could like keep your mind moving a little bit, where it's not necessarily like, or keep your goals moving, even though nothing's necessarily moving. Mm-hmm. So, yeah,
it's all about the illusion of progress.
The illusion of
the actual progress.
Yeah,
accumulated progress.
Yeah,
I get you. Let me see what else. All right. Is there any? I know we talked about your last project. Are there any lessons from that project that you are actively putting forth towards your new project? could be anything from how you set it up, how you do the production, your planning, or even just your execution of it.
No, not necessarily like lessons learned. I just know that confident that whatever that I went through with the sketch show and the last project, I'm a stronger everything else coming into this one. Like, since I'm writing this project, I know because I wrote all these sketches, writing all those sketches helped me write this in terms of like how I was locked in and stuff like that. And now like it took me longer to write those sketches than to write this one pilot. And so yeah, I'm getting stronger, I'm getting better. And then like also being in improv, it also helped me become a better writer. And like through osmosis, because watching like seeing improv, you see like the first beats of anything, the second beats heightening, and see how the overall thing and try to wrap it up and stuff like that. That's just like you can take bits and pieces and put it towards like a story of how things go, and and how to like neatly tie everything up. And so just going through that and like seeing on the other side, I'm like, cool, I'm busting this out.
Okay, so you're just constantly sharpening the mind.
Yeah. So not necessarily like a lesson, but just know my mind was sharpened through those experiences.
Okay. I think you answered my second question too, which is just what are you doing differently? But I totally see you. I mean, you're working on a craft to the point where, like you said, the first time you do anything is going to be the slowest, and you've done it so much that the process of writing, the process of being on set, the process of, even just like peer reviews, getting everything done is just so much faster. And I can see it to where it kind of seems like, man, I'm not really making any changes. I'm just doing the same thing. But it in that self is like a change of just, it's like if you're editing and you discover a hotkey, and the next time you edit, you're going to use that hotkey just to increase your speed.
Yeah.
And it's not like you learn anything new, but you're still moving faster just because you're so much more in tune with the process.
Yeah. So yeah, I totally agree. Yeah. Just do it.
Just do it.
Just do it. Like people are afraid to start. I feel like, of course, the first time you ever do something will always be the slowest, always be the longest. But once you get over that, it's.
So let me ask you, from the Unserious sketch show past the improv, obviously there's been a progression. There's been an evolving of your storytelling. Can you actively predict, or do you see where your storytelling is evolving, just based off of like what you've been through and what you're doing now, the project that you're doing now, how it will affect it in the future? Or do you see any kind of changes in the way that you're doing your storytelling?
Yeah, I would say like, of course, like, I feel like everything that happened in my life leads up into like how I approach this new project, and like also like it also goes to like the people I've met, and then like being in LA, you run into writers, right? And like getting to know these writers, and like they're giving me bits and pieces into their process. They say, oh, this is how I handle things. Oh, this is how you should wrap it up, because this is like, they've written way more than you could ever write. You can only hope to catch up, and just a friend, and trusting them to be like, you know what, you're a good person, and also like I can like take your advice as well, and then like it's more so it's also constructive. It's not like oh, I feel you should move it this way, and versus like, all right, here are some like foundational technical things that you can also fix, but also like also think of these things when you're writing. So change that, but like think of this when you're writing, and that'll change your perspective on how you approach it.
Okay.
And so like give you some game. Like a friend of mine, shout out Zach, He was like, "Hey man, character. When you're writing characters, like character equals uh, goal plus flaw."
Character equals goal plus flaw.
Yes.
That's a great way to look at it.
And so he told me that, and like, hey, look, filter like all your characters through that. And then like you can you filter all your characters through that. You take a step back, and you're like, okay, and you can start to see a story form. And it's easier to form a story once you know, all right, this person wants this, but he's bad at that. This person wants that, he's bad at this. How do they get there? And like who, and then that makes them who they are. And then you can play with it. Like write a story where their flaw is really flawing that day.
Their flaw is flawing.
Their flaw is flawing, and then how do we get to know? So like, just being around those people and them giving me little tidbits and whatnot changed how I approach storytelling.
That is an excellent gem. I'm definitely taking that one.
Please.
I'm using that one. That one's getting sold into something right now. Yo, Zach needed a stronger shout out for that.
Yeah, he sure did.
Yo, shouts out to Zach. That was amazing. Keep doing all of the good work. Maybe we'll work on something someday. But man, it's good to see how the experience is compounded just from being around the right people. Man.
Yeah, like, that's one of the reasons why, like, I'm thankful that I moved here to LA just to be around, other people, better people. People I aspire to be, and like who are like I know are better than me, but like we're on essentially the same level. I can like call them and talk to them, and it's not like they're up here and I'm like, am I bothering them if I'm talking to them right now? Otherwise, I'm like, hey man, nigga, what's good? I got a question. So it's like we're here, we're locked in. So.
Once you're in the environment for a long enough period of time, it does feel like that. The playing field is so evened out to where you just reach out to people because at some point they're just people.
Right. And then like also like a little bit of like imposter syndrome. You call people coming here from a small town, they were the best of the best of their small town, and they come here in the big pond talking about, oh gosh. People, everybody who was the best at their whatever, all in the same place.
That's not a good equation for a lot of the egos in LA.
Oh yeah, people do have. Yeah, I'm glad. I mean, even though I feel like, let me talk my shit. I was pretty good at what I did back home. Shout out Gainesville, Florida. Go Gators, chomp.
Go Gators.
Even though I do feel like I was one of the best. I still know I was from Gainesville, Florida. And so even though I do have confidence, like I made this, I made that, I know who I am. It's just like, I'm from Gainesville. Let me just tone it down. Just tone it down a little bit. But like, even though, and then when I get into these spaces, and then like I just let the work speak. I don't have to say nothing. Well, Courtney, you did this? Oh, this dope as hell. I'm like, yeah, no, I'm from Gainesville.
You're gonna be putting on Gainesville forever. Like,
hell yeah.
Yo, Gainesville,
shout out,
go Gators.
Go Gators, go Gators. Little home since I was 9, moved there from New York. Hated it at first, but it grew on me.
That's so funny. You're speaking of, the people that you're collaborating with on projects here in LA, and you're talking about being from Gainesville, which, you probably have a certain perspective from social media of just people in general, who you like, who you dislike. Are there any people that you have in mind that you would love, like it would be a dream to collaborate with them?
See, look, that's interesting because like it has to go on like has something to do with levels, or like it'd be a dream, right? If there was like, if I could call Childish Gambino right now, to like, let's work on something, that'd be great. Otherwise, and like, of course that's a dream, not really feasible. If I call you, let's work on something, we could probably we're getting something done right now.
Yes, we are.
So
Yes, we are.
it's all about levels. And of course, but like to answer your question, yes, Childish Gambino, that'd be nice to work with. But like realistically, I'll probably work with you way more times than even if I do make it into a certain stratosphere of success. I'll probably work with you more than I work with Childish Gambino. Just being real, because you dance with the girl you bring to the party.
I'm touched. That was poetic.
Oh my God.
But it leads me to my next question. So you're talking about levels. Is that levels from your perspective or levels from the person that you want to work with's perspective? Because if you're putting out the example of Childish Gambino, rightfully so, would have the thought of his levels so much higher than you or I. So would it be more dependent on him lowering himself down, or would it be you actually feeling yourself, talking your shit, and being on a whole nother level to where, yeah, I am in the space where I can work with these people. I am deserving and worthy of that.
Right. I mean, yeah. I feel like in that scenario, when it comes to anybody on higher levels, they're going to have to look down and pick you up.
Mm.
But then again, the only reason why they look down is because you're putting in work.
Mm.
And as long as you're putting in work, someone could look down and be like, huh, what's that guy doing? Yoink. Boop. Same level.
Okay.
And like, you don't have to, of course, if you get raised in levels, there might be a little bit of imposter syndrome. But then again, you've been putting in all that work, it's justified. Like, oh yeah, I know why I'm here. I did all that shit when I was down here. Now when I'm up here, of course, it's going to be like basically same. It's going to be like it's playing the same game, but with all the unlocked characters.
That is a great way of seeing it. It's like they're playing the same game. They just got cheat codes.
Exactly.
They just got a few more resources.
A few more resources, a couple more $100 million.
Well, I'm going into my my last leg of this interview, and man, the conversations that we had, I knew that some of the questions would be answered, so I have a lot less questions than I originally thought. But this part is more about just life, having just life as a creator. Life as a creator, life as somebody who creates content that people enjoy, but at the same time, you're still a person. One of my questions is, what boundaries have you set to ensure that your creative work doesn't overwhelm your personal life? I know we talked a little bit about burnout and putting it down and things like that, but I thought it was something in the same vein.
How do I what boundaries do I put in place that prevents my creative work to spilling over into my personal? Oh boy.
I came with questions.
No, it's a great one. I'm just trying to figure out. Yeah. Look, I feel like now I'm in a place. Of course, this is the place where I wanted to be. That's why you came to LA, and that's why I came to LA and worked a lot. So I worked to the point where I could say no. Right? Like I said, when you get in all these opportunities and people like, hey, can you do this? Hey, you mind like put on this? I'm like, nah, I'm good. I like where I'm at.
Okay.
Like, I'm now starting to put boundaries up because of all the work that I've done. And this is where I wanted to be. I wanted to be in a place where I could say no, because like starting out, you just want to take everything. You want to meet, you're going to be this people, you want to meet that person, you want to see where that trail goes. Like, oh, if I do this project, I might meet, who knows? And that can like help out with another project that you want to do and like, be that person networking and such. And so like first 2 years I'm here, like, okay, yes, I'll do this. Oh, wow, Courtney's so great. Oh, wow, Courtney's so great. Oh, wow, Courtney's so great. And so, like, just have my name buzz of, like, Courtney's that guy who does this. Mm-hmm. And now I have enough people who knows that I do this. And I can start saying, nah, or, like, circle back. I'm busy right now. I'll give me a few weeks to clear my mind, and then I'll hop right back. And they'll wait because they know I do stuff, and like they know I'm good at what I do, and so they're willing to wait.
Once you get to a point where you can say no, I think that's a very great point because as a creative person, you do need to have some sort of boundaries, and being able to say no, being able to just pause your creative work, or how do I put it? Being able to not just let it all spill out. Like you had mentioned that somebody would see you and say, "Oh, Courtney's the funny guy." You know, every time I talk to Courtney, funny things just flow out.
Right.
But you see it more as that's your commodity. As a salesman of comedy, I would just came to my mind right now. Mm-hmm. But that's what you sell. You know, you can't just be giving away all your goods to the point where you get good at your trade enough to put that boundary down of like, listen, I love being funny. I'm not going to be funny in that aspect. I love to work on projects and help people. This does not align with me at this point. So I very much respect those boundaries because a lot of people, especially in a city like this where people are just fiending for work,
right?
It's almost unheard of for somebody to just say no.
Right? Yeah, exactly. Or it's like sometimes if I don't give like a full no, sometimes like a quarter no or half no, and it's like no, I can't do this, but I can do that for you. Or if you need like no, I won't be able to be there, but I give you some equipment though if you need it.
Okay.
And so it's not like I'm not leaving you with nothing.
And that's good. You're still putting yourself out there. You're still being a man of your word. You're compromising.
Yeah, because I'm like, damn, you want me to be out there for 8 hours working on this? Can't do that. I got other stuff to do. But
can't do
you
that.
can have these little things. You can have a light. You can have a camera. You can have a tripod. I can give you my mic. Go stupid. Go create. Or I can edit for you.
But the Knicks are playing right now.
But the Knicks are playing right now, and I would love to watch it. The Knicks are currently playing as we do this interview. Right when we started, that's when the game started, and like I was not necessarily upset, but I was love you, Charlie.
Courtney, listen, love you back, and the audience appreciates you being here. The audience appreciates all of this. Mm-hmm. I mean, just to get a little insight into the mind of, dare I say, a creative genius. Honestly, that wasn't a compliment. That's just in my notes.
That's in the notes?
Yeah. So I had to say
this
that.
creative genius was brought to you by Gene Theophin, Carol Theophin, Kenneth Theophin, Ricky Theophin, Gianna Theophin, my family, who I love. If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be me. Let's just have it at that. There is no creative genius without those creative people who I love and respect. And also my friends. Can't name them all, but you'll know.
I love that. That was a very, I respect that. I respect that. I tried so hard to just be as respectful as possible. Yo, that's the most serious that I think I've ever seen you be, and that was touching. That was really good. I just got a few more questions for you. I know you at the bottom of your water.
I know you at that's a good phrase. Hey, look, I know you at the bottom of your water right now, but I really need $20.
Yeah. I know you're at the end of it, but listen, I just need.
I can't help you, man. I'm at the bottom of my water.
A little bit more attention.
I'm at the bottom of my water right now.
Okay, so, all right, this year, you're locking in. You've been locked in. You're a lock-in monster. What if you could describe your focus this year in one word other than locked in, what would that word be?
If I was to describe my
focus
in this year, consistent.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. Like going back to like me wanting to put out a project every year. and seeing it. I'm like, oh, it's becoming a little bit of a theme.
Mm.
I like this. Let's stay consistent. You know? I know in the future some years will be more grand than others.
Mm-hmm.
But as long as I've had something to point to, like, oh, I made that. Oh, I made this. Yay. Oh, I wrote that.
That's a good way to see it.
Yeah, so just consistent. Just always be in the mix of something.
Okay, I get you. Always be moving.
Always be moving.
All right. So for this year in general, I know we spent a lot of time talking about projects, content, things like that. But just in your personal life, you can answer or not. What's one thing that you have on your bucket list for this year?
What's one thing I have on my bucket list? Let's drop some music, man.
Music?
Let's drop some music.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. I feel like,
I've been working on the keys. I got some John Legend stuff going on. I got you.
Ordinary people.
Listen, we can just do a full 15 to 30 minutes of this.
Yeah, I mean that's on my bucket list for the past 2-3 years. But hey, look, one day the bucket gonna list. The list gonna bucket.
Yo, that one day that bucket's just gonna tip over and everything's gonna fall out.
Come on now. So I just put that like bucket list. Make some music. Of course, stay consistent. Whatever happens to this new project, there's many ways it could go, and so I'm looking forward to that.
Okay, I like that. I mean, working off of this, not working off of the bucket list, but like working off of just like coming into the year and having this momentum. Are there any like new skills or like areas of expertise that you want to like focus on? I know you're talking about music, but is it really just is it music that main thing that you're trying to like not really work on, but you want a little bit more experience in while working on your other projects?
Yeah, of course. Like I want to learn how to play the piano.
Okay.
And so like I want to take lessons, and I want to find a way to be committed to that. Whether it's like once or twice a week. But I need to figure out a way to like configure my room. Because I do have a keyboard. I bought a keyboard with the intention of like playing it, but then I don't have a desk in my room to put the keyboard on, so it's sort of like I gotta play over my bed, and I'm like my back, that's not good posture, and so like, womp.
What kind of keyboard?
I don't know, a big one.
That's accurate. 88 keys?
Possibly.
Okay, I like that. Are they weighted or are they just kind of like...
They're a little heavy.
Okay, I like that. That's nice. Is it one of them Yamahas? Or...
Possibly.
I love a brand name. Oh, man. It's electric keyboard, too, so it's got electricity.
It got different sounds.
I love that. Oh, it's got different sounds, too?
Yeah.
Man. Do you ever, as a serious question, do you ever plug your... I've seen a little bit of your setup. Do you ever plug your keyboard into your computer to use it as a MIDI?
No, I have not.
You should try it.
One day.
You know, totally different topic, but like I said, I do play piano. I've been trying to work on increasing my skills in order to teach. So I'm like trying to get to that point. I don't know if it's going to be like a live thing or like maybe I'll make some classes, but I'll get you something.
No, I appreciate that. Yeah, man. Like, yeah, definitely. I like to like.
Or I'll just get you like one of them Musical.ly subscriptions.
Nah, I gotta go see a person. I gotta go touch a person. I have to go into a place to learn, and I have to be like, I like that extra bit of accountability.
Okay.
Like, Courtney, you didn't learn your scales.
Damn.
Shame.
You're trying to get hit on your hand with the
ruler. So I want that type of commitment. It's because like if it's just me in a computer, shoot, I might be playing the piano 1 second, and then next thing you know, I'm scrolling over to the hub.
I definitely can. I see where you're going with that. The hub is wild. Completely caught me off guard on that one. The hub. All right. Yeah. Shouts out to the hub. You know what you be doing.
You know what you be doing, the hub.
That's wild. I'll pray for you on
Thanks.
that because I think that piano is one of the best things. I think that just learning piano
Opens it up.
it will change the entire way that you listen to music. Somebody told me that when I learned, and it only took like, if you really want to do it the right way, the one way that I did it was I just took a song that I liked and I played that song, and then you just keep going. Eventually you just pick up techniques. It's like when you're doing a project, you pick up how to set the camera, you pick up
Right.
the angles and everything. But with music, it's like you hear it on everything. You hear the C sharp. There's this one thing where I just heard somebody playing piano one time, and I could visualize where their fingers were the entire time. So once you get that going, I think that it's going to really change not only how you look at music, but how you look at your other projects too.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like when I really started getting into like editing,
Mm-hmm.
it changed how I watch movies forever.
Pain, isn't it?
Yeah, a little bit painful. I'm
You
like,
can't
why
go
did
back.
Why did it cut like that? Why did you just go back? Like, why is it move? Dude, stop.
Yes. With man, what was it? It was it's on Amazon right now. It's that new show, Secret. It's like Secret Wars or something.
It's a video game, right? Secret Level?
Yes. It's a whole anthology. Most of them are really good. There is one, and I completely forgot which episode it was, but the character talked exactly like Arnold Schwarzenegger. So, if you watch it, it completely looks like it's AI. And you can it's indistinguishable from AI, but you really can't tell if it
Right.
is or isn't. And I think that's kind of like the way that AI has influenced how we're seeing our new content, where it's like, this is changing. Just how if you listen to music, how playing piano is just going to change how you hear that. Like, it's just one of those things that stood out to me. But I totally understand what you mean by it's just going to change everything.
Yeah, and I'm ready for it. I'm welcoming it. Yeah, because I feel like that's probably one of the things that's like, maybe that's what I put on myself. That's like, oh, that's why I can't make any music. Because, I don't like relying on people in terms of like, I gotta wait for a producer to hit me back. Because I gotta figure out how I want this thing to sound. Like I'm trying to formulate into words. I don't really have the musical, terminology and jargon talking about I want it like this, I want it like that. So I'm like, oh, especially just make it myself, and then or learn it, and then I can start communicating better. But then I'm like, a lot of people don't know music, but they can figure it out. And so like these are the two warring factions in my head. So I'm like, learn it yourself. No, nigga, just ask. And so
It's a little bit of both.
It's a little bit of both.
It's a little bit of both. I think you're gonna get that.
Yeah, I'm gonna get it. Don't worry, it's gonna be fine. Like I'm
You'll get there.
like being in this, and then like once I do it, once I do it, and like going to You Are What You Make. If I'm performing music people will see me. Hey, Courtney, I really like that song. Let's hang. And now I'm in that space, and then I do more in that space, and then, and basically it's like the same. It's the same thing wherever you are, or whatever creative community you are. You start doing more, people start seeing you as that thing, and then opportunities will arise. And then if you're a good person,
good things happen to good people.
The sky's the limit.
Yes, that
Because
is very true.
there's weird people in every.
Sadly,
And yeah, sadly, there's weird people in every genre, every media
industry.
Industry
Industry's the word.
And so, just like be yourself, smile sometimes, maybe. Just be nice. Don't be weirdo.
I like
And
that.
yeah, I met some
weird people.
and I'm like, okay, all right. If you think that's how, if that works for you, man.
Dang.
Then again, like,
What's the weirdest? If you don't mind sharing.
it's the weirdest. talked to some. I guess he was a music guy. He looked like a music guy. Leather cropped jacket. You know,
It was a crop jacket.
crop jacket. Like
That's
it stopped right underneath his breasts.
That's a sight.
And he had no shirt under, so he was letting the abs hang. And he was like, "Yo, I don't believe in vacations." I'm like, as a concept? What do you mean you don't believe in vacations? Nah, man. If I'm somewhere else, money calling me to say I gotta come in the studio, make this song. You know what I'm saying? Look. If I could be with two bad bitches on the beach, I could be with two bad bitches in the studio making money. So I don't believe in vacation. Look. And I'm like, that's not cool. I mean, look, shout out to you for being on your grind, I guess.
Yeah.
But like,
let those bitches out the studio.
Right. Let them free.
Yes.
Let them see a beach.
Yes, please.
Let them
bring sand to the beach.
Please, just I don't know. Take them to the Northeast. Have them eat a lobster roll. I don't know. That's what people vacation.
You said I have vacation as a concept.
What do you? Okay. All right.
Oh.
Well, shout out to him.
Oh man. So with all of the creative stuff that you got going on, obviously you got to sleep. How important is self-care to, maintaining your balance?
Oh, great. Like, I've been bumming it out for the past few weeks.
Elaborate.
Like, okay, well, I wrote the pilot. I wrote the project for this this season, for this year, and then but pockets in between writing, I'm playing games. I'm watching a movie. I'm watching 2 movies. I'm watching a show. I'm becoming a gamer again.
Really?
Yeah, I've been playing dust off the PS5.
Okay.
And just even though I am currently working on the project, working on the pilot, it's just I wrote a little bit. Time to play. Good on me. I guess because I'm only focusing on one aspect of it. If there if it keeps going where I have to do more with it, then goodbye PlayStation. Goodbye 1 movie. Goodbye 2 movies. I have to go now. I'm taking this time of just restoring the energy, and then when it comes to blast it out, then I'll be ready.
I don't mean to harp on it, but I noticed in those things the Knicks was not being taken out at all.
Oh, what do you mean?
You said I could do away with 1 movie, 2 movies, a show, a video game. A video game is just a movie that you control, but the Knicks have to stay.
No, the Knicks do stay. The Knicks are probably my one source of
that's
unproductive living until they take 2.5 hours of my life, maybe 2 or 3 times a week.
Dude.
It's an 82 game season.
Oh my.
And so but then again, if the playoffs are in April, they're probably not gonna make it past May. I'm being real. So May.
A realistic fan.
From May to October. Mm-hmm. Productive.
Okay.
The Knicks are gone.
Okay.
I'm back to work. But yeah.
Your Zoom is just switched to online.
Exactly. I'm back on my Slack is on. Who's ready to chat?
Oh my goodness.
So May to October.
So
I got good 5 months.
That's a lot of. You can get a lot of things done.
You can get a lot done in 5 months. Exactly.
You get so much done.
Exactly. I'm like, no.
So just wrapping this up, looking back on everything that we've talked about, is there 1 piece of advice that you'd want to share with the audience? Just about your whole process, your journey, you as a person.
Mm-hmm. This is my camera. This camera on me.
This one. That's
Right,
right.
I was doing the R. Kelly
Oh
thing.
yeah, no, go.
I didn't do this stuff. All right, serious. You just do the thing. Just do the thing. Um, if you're worried about barriers of entry, specifically when it comes to like media stuff, it's like, oh, I don't have a camera. Oh, I don't have sound or yada yada yada. Just work with what you have, and then the things that you do want will eventually come. People just need to see it first, and people need to like just understand your vision, understand like, oh, this person has drive, and they will do whatever they can to help, or they'll do whatever they can to get to execute, and then people will start like, hey, I have this thing if you ever want to use it. I have that thing if you ever want to use it, because people see that you do the thing, and they want to help. People naturally want to help, so just do the thing. Just get over that hurdle. It will take you a long time because the first time always takes the longest. But once you get over that hurdle and people see it and you put it out, then people will just be. It'll be a flood, a little trickle. Doesn't matter. It'll be people coming your way because they see it and they want to help. That's my do the thing.
Very well put. Very well put. Like you said, people love to help. Where can people go to support you and follow you on this journey?
I guess Instagram, Choco Thunder 6.
Choco Thunder.
CHOCO, Thunder the regular way, and 6.
Don't ask me how the unregular way of thunder
People
is.
like Thunder, like THUNDA. Thunder.
Like
Two A's.
I still respect spelling and grammar. It's just thunder.
Chocolate Thunder was too long, and so I had to be like, Choco, like not charcoal.
No,
Choco, like
it's a different kind of dark.
Right.
Yeah,
Could have been Cocoa Thunder, but I feel like that would have gave a little bit of
it's a little sweet.
A little implication that I was a stripper.
It's almost milk chocolate instead of dark chocolate.
Right.
Yeah.
So, Choco Thunder 6, yeah, follow me on Instagram, support me, and then from there you can see all the stuff that I do. So, yay, come on down. Love to have you. Love to shake your hand. If you're ever in LA and then if I got to show a UCB, come on down. Shake my hand there too. Give me a hug. If I'm doing other shows around town, come on down. Shake my hand. Give me a hug. If you see me in the streets, shake my hand. Give me a hug. Yeah, I appreciate you so much.
This man just wants his hand shaken.
My hand shook.
He just wants a hug.
His body hugged.
The whole body.
I want my hand shook and my body hugged.
You gonna get somebody coming up behind you like Titanic. Like, let's go.
I heard you recording it. I'm like, oh my God.
Is there anything that I may have missed that you want to relay to the audience? Anything at all?
Nah. Love my family. Shout to them. They make me who I am. I shout them out. Yeah, that's it.
All right. I love it. That's been Chatting with Charley with Courtney Theophin, the amazing. Like I said at the beginning, please do support us on Patreon and wherever we got our Patreon posted. We will be on Instagram as well. You can follow me at Charley Shark, CHARLEY Shark, the regular way. I don't know the unregular way of shark. I think it'd be with a
Q.
Yeah, it's a Q and a W, so it's like SHAW.
Shark.
Q. Yeah.
Shark.
Shark.
Shout.
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 Shark.
Okay.
Shout.
Shout. Charley Shark.
So shark.
Charley Shark.
Yeah, and that's the first episode of Chatting with Charley.
Hey man, let me shake your hand.
Oh yeah, let me dry mine off first. It's a nervous little thing that we had going on.
And don't forget the hug.
Oh, how could we?
How could we?